Lucky Cooking segment brought to you by Creative Kitchen and Bath, where you will always cook in style.
Welcome back to Midday Kentucky. We are in the kitchen with Miss Allison Davis at Creative Kitchen and Bath, and we are making something with cocoa, so I'm already loving this right now. What do you got for us?
Holidays without cocoa, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Well, believe it or not, we are making some donut holes.
Are you really? Okay.
Yeah, or we call them little snowballs at home. Yeah? Because they're going to be little
I said, are you really? And then I was like, oh, wait a minute, I'm in here too. Okay, we are.
But yeah, little snowballs. But they're like donuts.
Okay.
And so we're making a donut batter. Not like a yeast risen donut. So this is quick that you can make with the kids, and then powdered sugar to make them look like snowballs.
Oh, cool. Okay.
But great for like the holidays and for Christmas. And, you know, who doesn't love a good donut?
Yeah.
Right?
Every day.
So we're going to kind of whip up our mixture, and I've got my recipe to follow along. But we've got 2 cups of flour.
Okay.
And then we have to add in our baking powder. So 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And that's just going to help them to kind of rise and be nice and fluffy. And I've got my oil here in a pot that's heating up.
Okay.
All right. And then a teaspoon or half a teaspoon of salt. You know, I always add a little bit of salt into all my sweet dishes, and that just kind of brings that sweetness out of it.
Yeah.
And then we've got some cocoa powder going in.
Yum.
And then I've got a little vanilla in here in my milk, okay? So that's going to be part of our wet ingredients.
Okay.
So a couple teaspoons of our cocoa powder in that mixture. If you want, just give that a bit of a stir for me. So that's pretty much our dry ingredients, and then I've got our wet ingredients, and we're going to mix that together, and that'll make our dough, and then we'll just start to drop those into the hot oil.
Okay.
So flour, you can move that over here too instead of touching this hot pan.
All right.
So I got a half a stick of butter that's nice and melted. We're going to go in with 1 egg.
The one-handed crack.
The one-handed crack, yeah. Everybody should be doing that at home.
Yes.
And then 1 cup of milk. So I'll just use this little measure here.
Okay.
And we'll measure that out. So
all right.
This is a 1/4 cup measure. So 1, 2, 3. And
We do a little math here at Wild Thyme.
That's a great way to get your kids involved in math.
That's right.
and cooking, because there's a lot of science and math when it comes to cooking. So it's a great way to start incorporating that into it. I'm going to grab a little fork just to beat that egg up.
Okay.
And then we're just going to mix up the wet and the dry ingredients together, and then we'll just test to see if our oil is hot and ready.
All right. Do you put the oil on high?
On high,
Okay.
yeah. You really want that nice and hot.
Okay.
I mean, you can start to see some ripples going. Little trick that I learned from a friend to test to see if your oil is hot enough for frying.
Yeah.
Oops.
Go ahead and add the wet to the...
Yeah, go ahead and add the wet. You can take a little black pepper and you just sprinkle it into your oil, and if it floats, see, it kind of sinks, and it's not quite floating just yet, but it's close.
Yep.
That's an indication that your oil's ready for frying.
Ah.
Yeah.
I love the little tricks that you teach us. It's so wonderful.
I would hate for anyone to throw water into oil and it pop all over the place, or like a kid be around, you know. So if you know those little safe tricks, that is definitely going to benefit you when you're frying.
All right, so I am mixing this up.
Okay.
It's looking good.
Yeah, so you kind of have this nice dough. See how it's just kind of coming together there?
Yep.
It's still wet, it's going to be sticky, and then you're going to use like a scoop measure, or you can use a tablespoon or something to just drop these in to your oil, and they should just fry right up.
Awesome.
All right, so...
And what kind of oil did you use, by the way?
This is a vegetable oil or canola oil. It just has to be a nice high heat oil.
Okay.
All right.
There we go.
And then we're just going to drop some of these guys in there and start moving them about. Well, not with a plastic spoon. I've got a little slotted spoon. That way
the
oil will come off, and just see how these will kind of cook up for us. Don't really worry so much as to how they look when they're frying.
Yeah, because they're going to be all puffed out and misshapen and all that.
And remember what we're going to do with these. This dough is actually, we can kind of mold it a little bit. just remember that these are going to be tossed in all kinds of powdered sugar.
Yeah.
So they're going to look like just big snowballs, you know? So,
Yeah.
Again, don't be so obsessive that
That they have to look perfect and all that. Because I do get like that with recipes.
When you're cooking with kids especially, like just let them have fun and, you know, make it work. So
awesome. Well, I can't wait to see this. For this recipe and many other recipes, head over to our website at WTVQ.com/Midday Kentucky, or you can head over to Allison's website at wildtimecooking.com. And she's also on Instagram at
Chef Allison Davis.
And we'll be right back right after this short break. Keep it right here.